I wanna be the very best. Now.
No one ever was.
Bam, 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 now.
I can't remember. I don't know. I'm just blanking it right now.
Real test.
Oh, man.
To train them is my cause. Banner now.
I will travel across the land.
Banner now.
Far,
Searching far and wide. Dun, dun,
I remember the
dun.
far and wide part.
Each Pokemon to
To
understand
understand
the power that's inside.
Pokemon,
Gotta
catch
catch
'em
'em all.
So true.
You
Teach me and I'll teach you.
Pokemon.
Gotta catch 'em all.
Gotta catch 'em all.
Pokemon.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's Tanner.
It's Pikachu.
Have you seen that meme?
Yeah.
It's Pikachu.
Clefairy.
Dang it.
It's a good one.
Oh, welcome to the Somewhat Original Podcast. We
Woo.
are back again. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, yo, yo.
We're not playing with yo-yo, sorry. But,
Ooh, got him.
yeah. Well, yeah, we're back again. And I actually had a question. So, Drake, you mentioned it in the last episode. You're watching Community. What are shows that we're watching now that we're, catching up in each other's lives?
By the way, I gotta tell you. Speaking of Community,
Uh-huh.
I just watched the episode where they play Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh.
That episode
That is a good
so freaking funny. I love it.
So hilarious.
What's good about that show is that they I heard someone saying on YouTube or something, just reviewing it, they were saying that it's like a parody of what a sitcom would be. So and that's what helps them be able to just do all these different genres of stuff. And I just love how that one starts where it's like a parody of Lord of the Rings, where it's and something of the of whatever
Rivendell,
has the something of blah. I don't know. I can't think of a good example,
man.
but I love that freaking episode.
I'm going to have to go back and watch that.
It's
It's
so
been
good.
forever.
I mean, season 1, they focus more on relationship stuff.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of dumb, but season 2, man, that's
That's where it really picks up.
You've watched it, right?
Yeah, I've watched it.
Community's just
I will say it does
So good.
slightly tank, but that's
That's-
just because
well-
some people left.
Yeah.
yeah.
The Russo brothers were a huge producer of it. And then
They were.
left, which was
Yeah,
sad.
and
Yeah.
Dan Harmon, the guy that
Dan Harmon.
directed it, left at one point too.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, what about you? What shows?
I've been actually catching up on Clone Wars now that the season
Hey, boy.
finale
I just
or
finished
series
it.
finale happened. So
good.
yeah, we're on the last season, I believe. So we're
Nice.
getting there finally.
Oh, you are finally.
Finally found out Jar Jar Binks had a girlfriend.
Dude.
What?
I've been trying to figure it out. Would he ever have a girlfriend? And
yesterday
it has
he-
been answered.
Yesterday he texts me. He's like, "Jar Jar had a girlfriend," and I was like, "Yeah, man, he's a player."
Although some of those episodes are some of the most boring
The Jar Jar
episodes.
ones, they're
The
bad.
Jar Jar and then
The droid ones. are
Yeah,
bad.
all the droid ones, R2D2 and C3PO. I'm like, holy cow!
Yeah,
Just
those
get
are
a,
bad.
just give me back some Darth Maul, and I'm good.
Or Obi-Wan.
Wait.
or Obi-Wan.
So I thought this was a joke. Does Jar Jar Binks actually have a girlfriend?
Yeah, he does.
I gotta
She's
go
like-
back and watch
She's
it.
like
Yeah.
a queen of.
I can't remember the name of the place.
She's a queen of some planet.
They totally
Huh.
made out, and then they
Yeah.
did some yoga and meditating with each other. So
It sounds
Weird.
Scandalous.
Yeah.
I don't remember this at all. I gotta go back and watch it. That's
But yeah,
weird.
that's another thing that I watched where I was like, dang, I don't know what to do with myself now that it's over.
Yep.
I can start watching Rebels, which is cool, but I've only watched one episode and I wasn't impressed so far. So
I couldn't get past the first season,
You couldn't?
honestly. I've just
That's-
seen.
that sucks.
Oh.
I know.
That's
It
not
was
good.
kind of rough.
Dang.
But so yeah, I'm watching that. Just barely finished The Office, for the 13th
million?
time. I had to get
Nice.
I actually got my wife into it. She had never seen it before, so she finally got into it halfway through the series and really enjoyed it. So
I've watched The Office too many times. I'm
Yeah.
done with it.
Did you see the little reunion they had? Over
I
John
haven't-
Krasinski's
I-
little.
I saw it on the
s-
news.
I saw
Yeah.
Or whatever.
I saw of it. I
Yeah.
didn't watch it.
I haven't
pretty
watched it
touching.
yet. I'm definitely gonna
It's like the dance
probably
from
watch it
the
tonight.
wedding, right?
Right. Yeah. Because they do a
Cool.
live. Well, yeah, a live wedding through Zoom, and they have like the
that's
whole cast like
awesome.
dance for them. It was awesome. It was
That's
really
really cool.
touching.
I'll have to go back and watch that after this.
Parks
think-
and Rec did a.
Oh, I heard
Reunion.
that they did like the Zoom call,
It was really
like
good,
it was
though.
an actual episode
So,
of
like,
them.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Oh.
told my wife, like, I was like, be prepared for this to suck. It's gonna suck. And then we watched it, and I was like, whoa, it was actually really good.
It was like they were working in Parks and Rec
That's
department,
sweet. It
but
was so
they
good.
had the
I
social
love it. I
distance
gotta
and all
see
that.
that.
Yeah.
You should watch
I
it.
hear Community's doing a reunion too here pretty soon.
They
so.
Joel McHale and Ken Jeong, the Jeff and Senior Chang,
Mhm.
they have a podcast called The Darkest Timeline,
Oh,
and they
Really?
did a table reading.
I did not know they had a
recently.
podcast.
Oh wow, I
Yeah,
didn't know
I
either.
think it's because Community's on Netflix again. I think like the popularity's ramping up again. So like just a couple weeks ago they started this podcast.
Interesting.
Weird.
But yeah, they did a table reading of like the episode where Pierce his like funeral thing or whatever.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Which is funny because Chevy Chase would never go and do that
Nope.
with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Rough times.
what about you, Daniel? What are you watching?
You guys might make fun of me because I'm not watching a comedy, but I'm actually, well, it is kind of a comedy. It's a drama comedy.
A dramedy?
A dramedy. It's This Is Us. I don't know if you guys heard of that before.
I have,
watched
yeah.
that.
I've watched it a little bit, but not a whole bunch.
Did you like it?
It was all right. Yeah.
Yeah, my wife's family was like wanting my wife to watch it for so long. And when I started dating her, they're like, yeah, you gotta watch it. So finally we sat down and we watched it. I wasn't expecting to like it at all. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And then I watched the first episode. I was hooked instantly. I was like,
Really?
and it was like, it's literally one of the best shows I've ever watched.
What's it about? I just know it's dramatic. And
Yeah, I don't want to reveal too much because it is like one of those kind of mystery like
Okay.
shows. Like they try and build on mystery, so I can't tell you too much. But basically, it's just
It's about a family.
it's about a family,
and it's dramatic.
and it's dramatic. Yeah, I really can't tell you much more than that.
I'll tell you a
because-
show I stopped because it was dramatic. What's it called? They have I like Scream. Those stupid movies. They like
Really?
parody.
Oh yeah.
It's
yeah.
because they
Oh,
make
yeah,
fun
yeah.
of like
All the scary movies.
slasher movies, but it's
Yeah.
also scary at the same time. Like
Yeah.
it's really
Right.
good. So they have like from a couple years ago they had like a Scream TV show that was like on MTV or something.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that.
And it was just like
just drama.
it's just teenage drama, and I'm
Ugh.
like, you know what? I'm not a
Nah.
teenager. I don't need that. It's just so dramatic. Like there was the scene that I left off on. Like one of the people had died, and like this chick is just going on down like memory road, like looking at her stuff, and I was just like, ugh, I can't do this. This is boring.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, this show is not teenage
not.
drama. It is about real life people with
Okay.
real life problems that they have to deal with, and it's really well done, really well written characters all around. I would totally endorse it. So
Where do you watch it?
Hulu.
Hulu. Okay.
Were you the one that convinced your wife to watch it, or
No, it
It
was
was the
my
fam-
wife's family eventually.
family that
She was totally against it. She's like, she doesn't
Okay.
like to start shows.
Yeah.
Like she won't
I
start
feel
The
that way
Office
sometimes.
Yeah.
or anything like that. So it was like, okay, fine. And then this turned out to be like one of her favorite shows, and she's
Dang.
like very picky with her shows.
Dang.
Well, I
So-
felt the same way with my wife, but with Seinfeld.
Really?
Yeah, that was one. I don't know. I guess she wasn't like fully against it. She's just like, yeah, it didn't really interest her. Same with The Office, but once I started showing it to her, she's just hooked. So
Yeah. So
Some people
guess
are
both of
lucky,
us.
I guess.
I guess our husbands are very influential.
Yep.
Except for me.
Hey, you got her into some shows, haven't you?
I did. Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, she doesn't like Seinfeld, but that's
Well,
okay.
Yeah, but there's other
That's
shows
fine.
though.
Yeah, that's fine.
We've been watching Schitt's Creek together, and that's a good show.
Oh yeah.
And it's spelled SCHITT. So, okay.
I mean, I knew what you were talking about. I've seen the
Okay.
ads and stuff. For
It's
it.
Oh,
really
I've never
funny.
heard of it,
Yeah.
so I was like, oh.
Whoa.
Whoa.
It's really funny, but like it's the same kind of thing like with Seinfeld, where it's just like people that aren't really likable, but you like them anyway.
Yeah.
Like they're not supposed to be likable. And I was like, so you're sure you don't like Seinfeld, huh?
You sure?
Like, you want to
Okay.
just, but it's okay.
Yeah. Well, those are all good shows. And what good shows do you guys, you listeners? Wow, I'm struggling here.
What shows do you listeners like to listen to? Watch, blah, blah, blah. I can't do it either.
So last episode, you couldn't read. This time you can't talk.
Yeah. I was going to cut that out, but okay.
Oh. Nikes.
I'll post-production, I'll cut it out. Don't worry.
Keep it in. Keep it in. Keep it in.
Yeah,
Keep it in. Keep it in.
for
I'm going to
bloopers.
keep it in for bloopers. I'll put it at the end of me just scrambling. But no, listeners, what are your shows that you're watching? Let us know. We're always looking for some good shows to watch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some stuff to review too.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we'll go ahead and get into our next topic. We are going to be talking about just video game movies in general. We all have recently watched Detective Pikachu and Sonic the Hedgehog movie. And, personally, I actually really enjoyed both of those movies. Maybe Sonic a little bit more, but both of them were actually really good. And it kind of actually makes me think that video game movies are actually going to be a good thing sooner or later.
It's ramping up to be better.
Yeah, it is going to be better. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
I agree. I liked Sonic a lot more. That's all I had to say.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like those two movies have really made it so like companies are looking to make video game movies more, and I feel like the production quality and like the quality of the story and stuff will be probably better going forward. And they're like what are they making now? They're making like a Mortal Kombat movie.
Oh, yeah.
They're making like Nathan Drake movie.
Yeah. With Tom Holland, I think.
With Tom Holland, yeah. I'm sure they're making another Pokemon movie because Detective Pikachu did really well.
Yeah.
And Sonic 2 is definitely gonna be a thing.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
My question too that I have is what made it so different that these two movies were actually good, and past movies weren't? Because like the one I'm thinking about is Assassin's Creed.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see
Is it
that one.
garbage?
Yeah, it's garbage.
What makes
I went into the theater and it just wasn't good.
boring?
The story, it was very boring. The story was just very slow. There wasn't
Just like an Assassin's Creed game. They did it.
I don't know.
I like Assassin's
I was gonna
Creed.
say I really enjoy the games.
Me too.
They also have some good stories.
I
in
haven't played an Assassin's Creed game for more than 15 minutes. It bores the crap out of me because
them. Maybe you'll love the movie then.
well, it's because they do the back in time stuff, and then it's like, oh, I'm sitting in a chair pretending to be this guy. Like the game within a game
Right.
annoys me. I don't know why. But anyway, I don't know.
What other video game movies are out there
Well,
that are really bad?
There was Mario. The
Mario?
one that comes to mind. Yeah, like the very old Super Mario
From the
movie.
80s.
I never
Oh.
even heard or seen this.
Dude, we have
It
to
is
watch it.
bad.
Oh my gosh.
I've seen clips. I've never seen the
I
whole
haven't
movie.
either, but we have to watch it.
Maybe we should do like a
But,
Mystery
yeah.
Science Theater 3000 episode
That
where
would
we
be
actually
sick.
like watch it and
It'd be
commentary
cool if we
of
had a
it.
camera.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a crappy
Warcraft
one.
was,
I heard
think,
about Warcraft. Yeah.
debatably really bad.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I watched Warcraft personally. Now I've only played World of Warcraft. I didn't play like the old Warcraft games. So I don't know the whole
But you
lore.
still knew stuff.
I still knew stuff, but I didn't know the lore behind the Warcraft movie, which I know was based on like the old Warcraft games, and so I was very lost.
Yeah.
And there was no memorable characters in that movie other than like the main orc dude, Duratan, just because that was what like all the humans looked the same to me,
Really?
and the orcs were just like it was just him, So I just remembered him. That was it.
Interesting.
And being a World of Warcraft like veteran, I don't know. Like I played it a lot, so I knew there was like a.
You knew the classes and stuff.
I knew the classes, and then I know
race.
there was like an area called Duratan,
Oh,
so that's
okay.
that's why the name stuck in my
okay.
head.
Interesting.
Whereas like all the like male like white dudes, their names were just like so weird, and I'm like I don't remember any of these guys. Like, so like. I think the movie was very convoluted. It was trying to smush so many things all in one movie. But yeah, I don't. That's a good question. I don't know. I'm trying to think myself, like what made Sonic and Detective Pikachu better than Assassin's Creed, Warcraft, Super Mario Bros. Like,
Yeah,
what made them good?
It's hard to say. I feel like the production quality, for one, is like what made it watchable. Because it's not bad to look at.
Well,
yeah.
Let's be real with Sonic. If they hadn't changed him,
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I
that
would
would've
not have
dropped.
hands down, it would have been. I mean, it would have been an okay movie, but people
Yeah.
would have been so distracted by how bad Sonic
He was
looked.
ugly, dude.
Like,
if you
yeah.
listeners don't know what Daniel's talking about, I mean, just Google it. It's pretty bad. The original Sonic
Yeah,
art for the movie, it was bad.
it was supposed to come
so
out too,
bad.
like last November or something, and they pushed it back. And I guess it came out February or something.
I think, February.
Yeah, they had to
Very
change it
recent.
completely, like digitally.
They
They just-
like it's amazing that they changed it and people actually saw it. Like I think people liked that they were listened to,
Right.
because when we saw that original Sonic design, we were like, great, this is just gonna be another like thing of Hollywood not getting it.
yeah,
But
yeah,
like
yeah.
they got it when they were like, all right, we'll change it.
yeah.
I think that answers the question almost. It's like it's when the producers, it's when the executives, I want to say, actually understand. They're in touch of what the fans actually want.
Yeah, because it's like that. I've never watched that Mario movie, but I know that like they go into this weird portal to Dinosaur Land. And Goombas are like weird dinosaur head people.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
It's bad.
Like,
Oh, no.
like that's nothing like Mario.
And it's like it's real life too. So like both Mario and Luigi
It's
aren't like
creepy.
cartoons or anything. They're
Huh.
like actual plumber dudes.
And they're
Oh,
supposed to
man.
be brothers, but Mario looks like he's 50 and Luigi looks like he's 20.
Oh,
They're like, that's your dad, bro.
oh, jeez.
But
It's
yeah,
bad.
it's I think you're right. It has to do with them caring about the source material.
Yeah.
And not to say like it kind of helped Sonic that we didn't really know his origin, at least from like someone that only played the 16-bit games on the Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
I didn't know his origin, so like it was kind of cool to see like their version of it.
Yeah.
Like that he like I don't know what the owl lady was like taking care of him and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's pretty cool.
I don't know. I guess it depends on the video game itself.
Yeah.
What's shown in that video game, like the storyline and all that kind of
Right.
stuff. And also just what the movie has and what storyline it goes with.
Yeah.
That kind of helps. But then all, like you guys are saying, the visual effects too. Like it has to look, what we imagined or what we've
Yeah.
grown up with. Because if it doesn't, then it's just gonna be crap.
And in the case of like Detective Pikachu, they kind of they understand like why Pokemon are cool because they're like your little buddies, that you can take around. So like Pikachu was his little buddy, and it was cool too that they added some elements of like stuff from the games so that like the games and that movie were kind
Right.
of like in the same universe per se.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like Mewtwo comes from the Kanto region, and you're like, whoa, what the heck? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's
I
so
think-
adding some authenticity to it, I guess.
I think something else that kind of goes into it too is the actors themselves and the
Yeah.
way they portray a lot of the characters. I feel like going back to like Warcraft and Assassin's Creed, I feel like they're very stale. They're very boring. They're not very exciting to watch because mostly the actors are just they're just there.
Well,
Like-
and it's not like what's it like Ezio from Assassin's Creed?
Yeah.
It's not like he's someone. It's just like a way for you to like explore that world, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Not particularly like a character. I've never played Assassin's Creed. I don't know. But like I don't know, like Sonic has personality like oozing from him. Like
Right.
even when you were playing like the first Sonic games when you're like a little kid
Yeah.
and he's like standing there like looking at you all mad if you don't move him for a while, like I don't know. They did a really good job at the jokes in that too. Like I was genuinely laughing
Right.
when
Same.
I saw that movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't like forced like dumb ones. There was a couple like when he's flossing, I was like,
Well, that's for
It's
the
for the
kids.
kids,
That's
yeah.
for the Fortnite kids.
You got to remember for the kids.
But
Yeah.
I feel like with Detective Pikachu, and this could be an argument, I don't know, but I feel like the movie wouldn't have worked so well if Ryan Reynolds hadn't voiced Pikachu. Like,
Yeah.
because
Oh,
he's just so
for sure.
funny, so charismatic, and he can
Yeah.
like ad lib so easily. I feel like a lot of the reason why I liked the movie was Ryan Reynolds because he was
Yeah.
so funny as Pikachu.
And
yeah,
like the actors don't really take the source material too seriously, but they also like respect it. I feel like
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because like the idea of Pokemon or like Sonic, it's ridiculous, but like it's still something you can poke fun at. And I feel like audiences today are a little bit like they accept weird stuff easier these
yeah,
days. Like with the Marvel movies for the last 10 years, like all that weird crap, like I feel like they can understand some kind of like weird concepts, like a hedgehog coming from space through a ring,
yeah,
because they've seen like Captain America fight an alien that's big and purple, you know?
yeah,
And it worked.
Yeah, and it worked. So
yeah.
I think part of it is that, but production quality too.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think Detective Pikachu also went a different route than what I thought was going. Like they tried to go for like the plot twist,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like it wasn't like Darth Vader revealing that he's Luke's father,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it was like
Yeah.
it was like, oh wow, cool. Like that's an interesting route that they took. Like I don't want to give spoilers out, so I won't say what happened, so people who are listening to this podcast can go and watch it. But like it was interesting. It was like, huh, you know.
That, and it could have just been a mystery show or movie on its own. It didn't even
Right.
need Pikachu or like the Pokemon world in it.
enhances it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that enhanced it. I feel like it worked out really well. And I mean, yeah, it was a game before. I didn't even know it was a game before, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
but
the game didn't do well, by the way. It wasn't. The game was not good from
the
what
movie,
Yeah.
the movie's more popular than the game.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Honestly, I don't think I would care to see those same characters in a second movie.
No, yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
want to see just more of that world
Yeah,
me too.
and like more diverse Pokemon than like the same 20. You know?
So
Yeah.
should Ash catch him?
No, that's too much.
I was gonna
I
say
think
be
real
like
live
an
action.
actual Pokemon live action.
I
Pokemon
think they
movie.
should do like different
not live
stories that aren't like stuff from like, you know, you don't want to see Ash Ketchum on TV. That's
Yeah.
or like live
We've-
action. It would
I was
be
gonna say
weird.
we've definitely seen him enough and
Yeah.
enough
Yes.
in this that.
But-
So I could see producers being like that though. They're like, oh well, this Pokemon movie worked, so let's just do Pokemon, but in a live action, and that would be a crappy movie.
Right.
But I guess producers definitely wouldn't do that now because they see that
Yeah.
there
I'd like
there
to
are better
see-
ways to do these video game movies.
I'd like to see like self-contained Pokemon movies, like
Mhm.
with their own kind of thing, because like there's like enough room and like stuff you don't know about like the Pokemon world, I
Yeah.
guess,
Yeah.
that like
yeah.
you could make stuff up and it would be cool.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of routes they can take. It'd be
Yeah.
interesting.
I mean, it could be like about a random story, like because you go into different towns when you're playing Pokemon or whatever, and you
Yeah, it
like
could
talk
just
to a
be out
person,
of town.
and like the person like says something, but you'd have no clue what they're talking about. And that could just be its whole
Yeah, it'd
whole
be
like
cool.
different thing. So,
Hmm.
but I think that would be really awesome to see, and I agree. Also, kind of going along the same line, what other video games would you like to see as a movie? Because I was actually talking to my wife about it after we had decided about this topic, and she brought up the idea of doing like a Zelda movie.
That would be sick.
They've needed to do a Zelda movie.
I think it would be probably one of the
Like
coolest.
Breath of the Wild style, though.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, like any way, but like any way they can do
Well,
it.
I just
but
think like
it would be like its own story, of course.
Right.
But
it would be a little hokey if they just had like the green tunic,
Elf
like
fairy
long,
dude
long hat.
with this
Link.
big green like evil man.
Yeah, I would like to see a Zelda movie, definitely.
That would be
I
really
think it
that'd
would be really
sick.
cool.
And I would like to see it be like a little gritty or something, you know?
Hmm.
Like kids could see it. Like you want the kids to see it, obviously, but
Mhm.
like just like a little dark. I
Lord of the
guess.
Rings ish type.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I would love to see that though.
I think that when she mentioned that to me, I was just like, oh my gosh, that
Also-
would be so cool.
They have like a Mario movie in the works. It's like an animated movie
Uh-huh.
from like I don't really care about like the Minions, but it's the people that like did the Minion movie things.
Oh,
They're doing like
Illumination.
A Mario. Yeah, they're doing
Oh.
a Mario movie.
really?
Yeah,
Well,
it's in the works.
I actually really like their production studios because Despicable Me is actually like some of my favorite movies. So
I could see them.
I'll look into it.
I could see them like doing okay with a character that can't. Like you don't want Mario saying like full sentences, you know.
Right.
It sounds weird.
Yeah.
But I could see them doing well with like a character that can't talk that often, but like still make it charming.
Are they gonna make that sound effect every time he jumps?
Yeah. I'm trying to think what other games would be good.
For me, I would love to see. This is biased because I think I mentioned in this podcast before, but I like Overwatch a lot. I think that would make a really cool movie, but I don't
Really?
want it live action. I want it to be more animated. I don't know if you guys seen their cinematic trailers. They're amazing.
Really?
And they could easily be like a movie, like just so epic. And they do a really good job on their animated trailers. So I feel like if they would just have a team, that team who do the animated trailers do a movie, it would be out of the park.
What about
Easy.
Star Fox? I've
Star
never
Fox
played
is a good
Star
one.
Fox, though.
I've never played it either, but that's like another like old Nintendo movie that has potential.
I was just thinking
because
like,
I feel like there's not much. I mean,
yeah,
there is story in it, but not a whole bunch. So.
yeah. Well, I was just thinking like, there's some video games that don't need to be movies, like God of War, for example. I feel like that would not make sense to like make it a movie all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work on the movie, I don't think.
Well, just because like it's good enough as it is.
Right.
But I was
Yeah.
thinking like stuff like Zelda and Star Fox and like some of the older ones, I think could do really well in like a movie setting.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Imagine Luigi's Mansion as a movie. That would be interesting. Like,
I'm not sure how that would be.
So pretty
I've never
much we're-
played that.
It's pretty
I'm-
much all Nintendo system
Yeah.
games
Yeah, exactly.
are
I
going to
know.
be the movies.
I mean, Halo, I think would be an awesome movie too.
Aren't they making one?
I would watch that.
Oh,
Aren't
are
they
they?
making one?
I
thought
don't know.
They made one like years
Really?
ago.
I thought I heard something about them making one.
They made one years ago. But I never seen it. But I think I would watch that.
I would
Be
watch
cool.
the crap out of that. Halo
I
would be
didn't.
cool.
Spoiler alert. I haven't really played Halo that much, but I think it would be a cool movie.
Yeah, like it'd be interesting.
Especially because it's a little like older. See, like I guess that's the difference. Is like something that's like a current generation video
Mhm.
game wouldn't be as cool as a movie because it's already like the same quality as a
exactly.
movie.
Yeah.
It is a TV series that is coming out.
Oh, is it?
Oh.
Master Chief. It's going to be Showtime, it looks like.
Ugh.
How about Doom Guy? What about
Doom Guy.
Oh, they've already made Doom movies.
Have
They're
they?
done.
Oh, I was gonna say like I feel like there's not really much they can do for that kind of game.
I haven't
I
watched
could be
them,
wrong.
but from what I understand, they're garbage movies. And they made those Resident Evil movies. And I've
Oh
heard
yeah,
those
Oh,
are
yeah.
good.
those have been bad.
But
Yeah.
yeah. I'm trying to think who else would be a good movie person. Luke Skywalker would probably be sick in a movie.
Have you seen
Well-
Star Wars?
But so I was actually when we were talking about just the different games and stuff, that like the newer ones, God of War. You're saying
Yeah.
how that one couldn't be a movie. I think of that as itself as it's its own movie.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
The same that I think about is the Spider-Man game for the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
That is one of the best movies you'll ever watch, but
Hands
you get to
down.
be part of it
Right.
Yeah,
at the
it's
same
sick.
time. And it is probably, yeah, I
It's-
love
it's so
I
good.
cannot praise that game enough.
Yeah, it's
Sponsor me, Spider-Man, please.
Please, Sony.
Like, can we get the guy that voices Spider-Man on this podcast, boy?
Yeah, well,
Can you
I
guys-
actually have a surprise for you guys. Let me bring him
No
up on
way.
Zoom.
What?
No,
What?
just kidding.
Oh,
Oh,
you did me dirty. You
I-
did me dirty.
I'm not that cool. I don't think I
Neither
could
am
ever
I.
do it. I don't even know how to read, so I
Yeah.
can't. I can't set up a Zoom call with someone famous.
Dude, what about Animal Crossing? That'd be a
Oh
sick
my
movie, dude.
Capitalism at its best.
Yeah.
Let's go.
But also like and it's a joke, but like frickin' if they did a Smash Bros movie, they could just get all those franchises together. Actually, you know what I was thinking? I haven't played it, but I feel like Final Fantasy, like any of those games, would probably be a good movie.
That would be really cool. I haven't checked out the 7 remake, but I really want to.
Either.
But
I do too.
I've seen like cinematics of it and it looks amazing.
Yeah.
It could easily be a really good movie if they wanted to.
Definitely.
Like, I think any of those.
I bet they could also do Star Wars Battlefront into a movie.
Yeah, that would be
Really?
sick.
You think
Yeah,
so?
yeah. But not the first Battlefront, but the second Battlefront of the
True.
original Battlefronts, like
True.
you know, because space battles.
All right.
and-
Anyway, yeah. I think the deciding factor is like if it's an old video game. I feel like it has to be a movie, you know.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
like you were like we were both all were saying, I guess, like something that's newer, it doesn't really need it because it in and of itself is a movie already.
Yeah.
But I feel like the future is bright for
Hopefully.
video game movies. And hopefully we don't get Detective Pikachu 2 with Ryan Reynolds because I feel like they'll milk it for everything.
Yes.
And Scott, and it won't be fun anymore.
Yeah.
True that.
I agree. Well, that's about it. Listeners, what do you think? What would be a good video game movie to come out? And what is your favorite video game movie that is out, if there are any good ones? Like
Besides
Sonic,
those two.
Besides Sonic and
Yeah. Or if you have a guilty
and
pleasure
Detective
movie, I guess.
Pikachu, yeah.
Yeah, if you actually like that Mario movie, I want to know.
Yeah, let us know if you actually like the Mario movie. We would love to know. And but yeah, anything else we need to?
Nope.
Neon Genesis Evangelion is the worst TV show to ever be made.
Ooh, got him.
That's
Oh.
all I had to say.
Oh,
All right,
wow.
Peace.
Okay.
Stay.
And stay somewhat,
Somewhat
original. Hey, somewhat original listeners, Tanner here. If you liked that episode, leave us a 5-star review and let us know what you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on all of our social media pages, including our new YouTube page. It's exciting. Well, there isn't much, but we are in the works of making something somewhat original for all of you. That's all I have to say. So, yeah, I guess I'm out of here. Bye.
We did the Avengers theme. Should we do the Pokemon theme or?
Gotta
Wait.
catch 'em all.
We'll do like, I want to be the very best. Banana now.
No one ever was.
Bam, bam, bam now.
Rewind.